start with an opening statement from Coach and jump into questions.
Yeah, first of all, got to give Clemson credit. They just shoot the ball so well. 15 out of 31 from three. And I realize it's not horse. We have a chance to guard them, but, I thought they did a great job. I'm proud of our team for overcoming some adversity. Sanaya picking up 3 fouls pretty early. Kind of gambled and left her in there some, but it did mean we had to change matchups. And then consequently, we had a hard time guarding them. But they hung in there with that. Then Isaiah went out for a few minutes with a tweak of some kind and of injury, and then she was able to come back in. And again, top ball game, they were able to overcome all that. So I'm proud of that. From the other side of things, we got to defend better. We can't give up 79 points and be one of the top teams in the ACC. We're gonna have to fix it. So hopefully we figure that out. But again, and give my staff credit. They're shooting the three, and my staff talks me into going zone, which doesn't sound very smart to me when the team's shooting the heck out of it. But it did give them a different look and took the pick on the ball and penetration by McQueen, who was setting up shooters, kind of took that away from them a little bit. So I thought, again, that worked out pretty well. But so give them credit for that. But again, found a way to win. That's the bottom line. We just got to learn from it and get better.
Questions?
How much do you feel like your really tough non-conference schedule and the adversity that you face in that helped prepare you for these kind of?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. You hope that does, playing a lot of good teams and playing close games. You hope that carries over. And I thought our crowd also gave us a big lift. When things are tight, and they start really getting loud and all, I think it makes a big difference. So I think it gives our players confidence and maybe shakes the opponents a little bit. So I thought the fans were a big factor too. But yeah, that's why we play that tough schedule, and hopefully it does pay off like that.
Tilda Trigger got an opportunity to start tonight. How have you seen her grow as a player since the start of the season?
That was a combination of things. Mallory Collier came back after Christmas. We had 3 days of practice, and the first 2 she was sick, and she came the first day, tried to go, and I just said, get out of here, go home, get some rest. And so she had been out a couple of days, but I also felt like Tilda had been coming on and playing well, and wanted to give her an opportunity. And it's tough. Her and Lorena both, I think, have great potential, but it's tough when you're a freshman to get thrown into this conference, this environment, this atmosphere. But I thought she held her own pretty well, and hopefully we can build on that.
As a bit of a follow-up, Mallory did get some court time today. How did you see her physical health improve on the bench before you said, okay, let's get you the game?
Yeah, I just felt like we needed some experience out there. At least she's got 1 year under her belt. I thought she did a good job offensively. Had a couple of big buckets for us the little time she was in there. We just felt like Tilda was doing a decent job on the boards, and that's why we put her back in to try to get some rebounds. But that's what's from now on. There's not going to be a whole lot of opportunity just to sub to give kids opportunities. We're trying to win games, and we haven't had a whole lot of blowouts. So we've got to try to find a way to win the game and get them spurts. They all have a short leash, to be honest with you. All those coming in. You got to play well when you get in there if you want to stay in there. So, but yeah, again, I thought Mallory did a good job when she went in there.
Your players said you have a new kind of intensity when you enter conference play. How would you kind of describe that intensity?
Yeah, we always talk about when you start conference play, it's a new season. Those other wins don't really matter now. You need those wins on your resume when it comes time for seedings and brackets and all that. But now, it's starting all over, and all these games are going to be, really tough. And so you got to raise your level of play up. You got to raise your focus, your intensity, and you got to really battle. And like I said, I thought we did that down the stretch, so that's a good sign. But now we got to put that together for 40 minutes, which is a little bit harder.
Coach, starting this year, due to expansion, not every team is going to make the ACC tournament. Only the top 15 are. And so How do you think that will affect games later on in the season when teams start to enter desperation mode?
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't have to worry about that, but, you know, really, you can't worry about the outside stuff. You gotta, you know, step between the lines, just focus on what's going on, and so, as was just mentioned, I hope every game right now, we're locked in, focused, and ready to compete, because you're gonna have to do that in this league, or you're gonna take an L. I mean, that's just bottom line. They're all too good.
What's impressed you most about Zoe's poise and her jump from freshman to sophomore?
Yeah, I thought Zoe played a really good second half. You know, Zoe sometimes has a tendency to relax, which drives me bonkers. But I thought, you know, second half, we actually went to her some in some matchup situations, and she did a great job of finishing against contact. She ended up with 5 assists and only 1 turnover. So that's the kind of ratio I'd love to see all the time. So, yeah, I thought she came up big for us, especially in the second half.
Coach, you had 4 players in double figures today. Can you just talk about how impactful it was for you to get to balanced scoring today?
Yeah, no doubt. You got to have balance. And, you know, again, part of it had to do with matchups. And, you know, I thought Madison Hayes in particular had an unbelievable day, 19 points, 9 boards. You know, when she's active like that, it makes a big difference. They went zone, I think, because they were having trouble matching up maybe a little bit, especially with Sanaya. We were doing some clear out stuff for her. They went zone. When they go zone, I want Madison to get the ball as much as possible, either for a shot or for an attack. So thought she did a good job against that as well. So, you know, we needed everybody though. Again, we don't have quite the depth that we've had the last few years. So everybody that's in that lineup needs to really step up and play well. And again, today we had that good balance.
Any more questions? Thanks, y'all.
All right, thank you.